Hi, I'm Lucy, and today we're going to be trying out these really popular trendy flower vases that I've saved everywhere on TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, anywhere, just anywhere I see this on social media, I just save it because I really like it and I wanted to get one, but I couldn't find anywhere to get it in Nigeria, and getting it from outside Nigeria, especially with the pandemic, is going to cost a fortune, and I'm not ready for that. So I decided to recreate it, and just in case you're with me and you really like this flower vase and you wanted to recreate it, then let's try this together and let's create it together. This DIY really doesn't require a lot of skills. It's just your plaster of Paris, PVA glue, balloon, and you're good to go. This is my first time of trying it, and we're going to be trying it together. So I learned this technique just a week ago before this video. I learned from my younger brothers. I saw them making a flower vase with this technique. They called it the casting method, I guess, and I decided to try it out for the first time in this video on this flower vase I really love so much. So all I'm going to be doing is mix water, PVA glue, and POP cement, and I'm just going to keep mixing that till I get the right consistency. I'm going to mix in my glue and water first, then start adding the POP cement till I get the right thickness or right consistency. Then after that, I'm going to transfer to this plastic bottle and then transfer the liquid in the plastic bottle to my balloon. So something I noticed during this DIY is that POP cement really sets fast, and I'm really happy about that, because then we'll have spent a lot of time trying to get this DIY to work. So I'm just going to tie that up and then start shaking it around so that the products can get distributed evenly. You're going to notice that the cement has started setting just while you're doing it. It's going to start feeling hot and then start feeling hard in the process. So once it starts feeling hard and I know that the product has evenly distributed, I'll just take it outside to dry for a few hours and then bring it back in and take off the balloon for the next step of this video. You really don't need a drill for this part, but I'm using it because I have it and I'm being too extra. I know. But yeah, all you need is an X-Acto knife and you're good to go. So I'm just going to use my X-Acto knife, cut some part open, and then start breaking it gradually with my hands, because I don't want it to crack more than what I want. So I'm just going to keep pinching it till I get the lines I marked out. Then I'm going to do that for the other side too. I'm going to mark out where I want to cut and then start opening it with my X-Acto knife and breaking it off with my hands. After that, I'm going to use my X-Acto knife to scrape the surface a bit, just to have like a more level edge that I can smoothen out with my sand paper. And then I'm just going to get my sandpaper and start filing the edge so it looks really neat. I'm going to do that for both sides. So for this next part, I'm going to be working on the base, and I'm going to be using my tape to seal up the art card I'm using here for the cylinder. I'm going to make sure there's no air gaps. I'm going to press on it so there will be no air gaps, because the air gaps could cause dents on the flower vase. So I'm going to just do that all over, and this is like a laminating process. I want to call this lamination because it's going to make this waterproof, and liquid won't be able to pass through it, and yeah, it won't get wet and get spoiled while we're casting. So up next, I'm going to cut my base. I'm using the size of my tape, and I'm just going to cut that out and also seal that up with my tape to avoid leakage. After doing that, I'm going to go ahead and join the both of them together to form my cylinder. So again, I mixed my PVA, water and plaster of Paris again, and to the right consistency. This consistency is really light, honestly, but yeah. And then I poured it into my cylinder, and then I started turning it, and gradually it starts setting. You'd notice it gets hard gradually, and then I'll keep pouring more and mixing up more and pouring as it's drying to create more layers of thickness, so that it gets to the right thickness that I want. Once I'm satisfied with how thick it is, I'll go ahead and leave it to set fully. And now I'm going to go ahead and remove the art card and the tape on it, and then sand it a little just to, you know, take out some extra rough edges at the tips. Then I'm going to go ahead and do a mixture of my PVA, water and plaster of Paris again, but this time I'm going to also be adding regular crack seal cement. I shouldn't have added this one because it ended up setting too strong. I just wanted it for extra strength and extra like bonding strength. So I'm going to apply it on the tip of my cylinder and then glue the both of them together, and then I'm going to use my hand to run through the sides of the joining just to finish up the lines clean. But then at the end, I just couldn't trust myself and couldn't trust the bonding enough, so I added more cement, and this kind of gave me extra work, because at the end of the day I ended up sanding for almost an hour to get this clean. So yeah, for the final step, I sand this down fully. You can see me doing it with I think a grade 120 and a grade 100 sandpapers, and that's to smoothing out every patches between the both of them. So here is for my popular mixture, the baking soda and paint, acrylic paint. I did it again. Yes, I probably would always do it. It dries really fast. That's one thing I like about it. So I probably, you know, I lack patience, so I would always be doing it. So yeah, I did the mixture of this paint. Funny enough, I was going for a beige color, so I mixed up yellow, green and some other colors just to give me this color, and I really am satisfied that I made this color myself. Like, I'm so proud of myself. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and apply it all over, and yeah, just wait till the finish.